For Middle Tennessee painter Joanna Higgs, the Smoky Mountains, our wonderful Smoky Mountains backdrop, served as a source of her artistic inspiration. Her painting, Trees and Sky, for example, which is currently featured in our Hyatt Rental exhibition on the third floor, represents a response to her first trip through Cades Cove back in 1959. If you get a chance when you leave today, please go upstairs and check it out so you can see it in person. Her images are fantastic. Our projector is a little older, so what you see on the screen is not as vibrant as it really is. Shortly after her arrival in Knoxville in 1956, she became the youngest and only female member of the Knoxville Seven, an important group of experimental artists active from 1958 until 1965. In addition to Joanna, the group also included Carl Sublett. I should quiz some people in here. Bud Ewing, Walter Hollis Stevens, Richard Clark, Bob Birdwell, and Philip Nichols. Each artist maintained an individual style that utilized varying degrees of abstraction. Together, they produced what are likely the first abstract paintings in Tennessee and helped to establish a foothold in modern art in the region. She's remained active in the group until returning to Middle Tennessee in 1961. She received her BFA from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville in 1956. She pursued graduate studies in painting at the University of Illinois. She was employed as a staff artist at the medical division of the Oak Ridge Institute of Nuclear Studies from 1956 to 57, and was a designer for the University of Tennessee Graphic Arts Service. Her work has been included in numerous local, regional, and national exhibitions, such as venues as the Butler Institute of American Art, the State Museum, Memphis Brooks Museum, and of course us, the Knoxville Museum of Art. Please join me in welcoming Joanna to us today.
Thank you very much. You want to do any microphone testing?
Sounds good so far.
Well, if you need to get up and leave or run off to some appointment, that'll be okay. I won't assume that you're just so distraught over what you're seeing. Can't stand it anymore. I've got about 70 slides, which means you just be kind of dizzy if we fly through all of them, but that looked like a few seconds for each one, I guess. But I just thought that I would show them to you chronologically and start with this one, which was done in Mr. Ewing's painting class when I was a senior in 1956. So that's the oldest painting that I'm going to show you. Mr. Ewing would buy a lot of tent canvas, and because all the students were poverty-stricken, and he would, I guess he was too, actually, because he'd sell them to us, but he would let us buy the canvas for a few cents or so. And so this was painted on that cotton tent canvas. And he would have students or somebody pose for us in class. And so it's one of the few paintings, I guess, that I'll show you that was actually done from life. I did my junior year at Vanderbilt and then went back to UT when I was a senior. And while I was in Nashville, I went down to Watkins Institute downtown and took drawing. It was sort of a public institution where anybody could go, and so I had spent that year there just doing a lot of figure drawings. And so essentially that's what this is. It's painted over a canvas that had been painted on earlier, and so I sort of started at the top. And most of the color was already there when I did this, essentially. Colors. I remember Mr. Ewing came around and said, well, add a little more of that yellow across the skirt down there, and that's about somebody, well, maybe I'd already done a little bit of white on the sweater and a little bit of work on the face. But, somehow or other it came up to a very atmospheric. And so I guess that's one of the things that I like about it. Probably it's one of the few things that my mother really liked, and so she hung it in one of the bedrooms in the house for a long time, so it's still there. This is a print. I don't know if you can see the small print up at the bottom, in 1956, and a dry point. Dry point on copper that you would actually, with a sharp needle, draw on copper plate. It's not etched through acid like an etch is. And it's really only 12 or 18 inches. The thing about slides is that everything looks like the same size. So the little bitty ones look like they're just as big as the great big ones. It's called June bugs because I remembered when we were children, my brother captured some big green beetle-like bugs that he would tie threads to, and then they would fly around. And that's what the little boy in the front is doing. And the rest of it is essentially it's different things, like this little boy on the fence, or like being shown how to do. The teacher, the print teacher, Robert Cogner, used to talk about somebody who was like been hit by a board when there'd be some sort of accident or traumatic thing. And that upper right-hand corner is sort of this expression of Cogner about the little boy having been hit by a board. You can see his face, so it looks like somebody crying. After I graduated, Mr. Ewing had a call from Dr. Brewser, the head of the medical division in Oak Ridge, and he needed somebody to just do drawing. So I went to see Dr. Brewser and said, "Now, I don't want anything about art. This isn't art." And he tried. He wanted me to do a lot of lettering and draw rats and whatnot. So I didn't really remember anything about drawing rats, but Dr. Brewser was one of the most patient, kindest people I ever knew, and I liked him a lot. So, I worked for him for about a year. I lived in the dorm when I first went to Oak Ridge, and just arranged the room so that I could put the canvas up on the wall. And I just had this one room where I had the bed and everything else. And so this was done there, and it's supposed to be me walking to work, which was about, I don't know, about half a mile or so. And so it's this figure walking through the early morning. The painting was sent to Atlanta to a show, regional show in Atlanta. And it's the first time I'd ever sent to a show, I think. And it won an honorable mention, which was surprised all of us, I think. But I don't have that painting anymore. It was purchased by somebody from the show. And so this photograph really is from the snapshot that one of my friends made in Oak Ridge while I had it hanging on the wall. I hadn't seen it since it went to Atlanta. This is, as you can see, a photograph looking up into the trees. I started doing drawings that represented trees. And you get to 1958, when I went to Urbana to graduate school at the University of Illinois. And I remember early in the spring, I went out to do some drawings, and I was sitting on the porch of one of the houses that belonged to the university, and kind of a protected space where I could look up into the trees. And a fellow was coming down the street, and he walked across the street and came up onto the porch and looked to see what I was doing. And he said, "Well, I just came to see what you were doing, and now that I've seen it, I still don't know what you're doing." And it's a similar period, and looking up into the sky. I was sort of interested in things moving around in that period. I did a lot of things that we call leaves blowing. There was a lot of talk about abstract expressionism, particularly about the tuning, and about the paintings looking like things were moving, and his paintings in particular. And this is sort of on the line what we were doing. I did this painting when I was in Urbana. For a long while, I had a couple of onions sitting on the table where I was painting, and they just sat there for a long time. And finally, I did this using the onions. My aunt said, my mother actually hung this painting at the house later on, and my aunt said, "Well, it looked like roosters." I never did know why she thought it looked like roosters. Actually, I think it's pretty realistic. Like those two onions. It's called foam because I was still thinking about things blowing around, and this sort of idea that abstract expression is sort of limited my understanding of abstract expressionism was. But particularly some of the shapes and strokes and things really going around the onions, the things that seem to be moving, flying around. And that's why it gives it the name. That is 1958. That was the first year I was in Illinois. This was done during the summer after I left Illinois, and both my parents had grown up on farms in Middle Tennessee. And they had bought about, I guess, about 7 acres, where they built a house in 1950. And Daddy had put in a chicken house down the hill from the house. But he didn't have chickens by that time, by 1958. And so I went down there and sort of cleaned out the old chicken house and painted there that summer. This is pretty much a self-portrait. It's done from a little mirror ahead with old paintings on the back side. I don't know if you can you see the sizes of things very large? I don't know if you can see those.
Yes.
Well, I will tell you if you can see it. In the fall, I guess 58 and 59 and 60, I went back to Knoxville. I really liked the bridge, and somehow or other I had the idea that maybe instead of making an art, maybe I'd really like to do physics. And went back to UT thinking I might become a physics major. That didn't work out very well. I know I was taking a first year chemistry course and I hold up this test tube and say, oh, cadmium yellow, phthalo blue. And, but I was not very well prepared for those things and gave it up and started, but I stayed in Knoxville for a while and started working for UT Press. And that's where I met Dick Clark, I guess. Well, I'd already known Dick Clark, Richard Clark, because he worked there some too. So I started going out with the Dick and Holly Sublett to the old marble quarries outside of town. And so I've got a few things to show you that were done on those trips that I made with them out to the quarry. And they were doing watercolors, but I just was drawing with ink on tracing paper. Really, somehow or other, I really like drawing on that tracing paper I had, so I just did that. And I was still thinking about things moving around. It looks like there's some sort of windstorm. And that's 1959, come to the Trees and Sky painting that you have here in the current show. And if you think about it, it looks like it's flying around too. I have friends in Oak Ridge who like to hike in the Smokies. He would take me up to the mountains and we would ride around and look at the leaves a lot and one thing and another. And this was not painted in the mountains, but it's painted in a studio that they let me use on Temple Avenue down in the basement of one of the art buildings. And it's just the memory of driving around in the mountains, looking up at the sky. I didn't have to drive, so I'd sit in the front seat, just looking out the windshield at the front and looking up and seeing all these things sort of passing by. And so you see images of things that would sort of flash into view and then they'd be gone. And this is how I have to do that. It's in 3 pieces. Mr. Ewing said one time somebody asked him why I'd done that, and I really don't remember why I did that. I just sort of did it.
That's your prerogative.
Why, I guess, or something. I don't know. I guess in our history classes I'd seen triptychs, about medieval times, altarpieces and things, and I knew there were such things. Because I didn't know that you were supposed to be able to open your clothes and things. I didn't know about that. This was also painted while I was working in the art building on Temple Avenue, looking out the window where we had a view of the hill. And this of course is Ayers Hall, and just whatever could be seen from that view we had looking out the window. It's 1959 when I was still thinking about things flying around, moving, and looks like there's sort of a tornado going through. Then in the painting that you have, I don't think you had a painting, but there's one that the museum owns because it won a prize in the Knoxville Art Center show, and it's a purchase prize, so they bought it. was similar to this one. This is sort of the third one of me walking through the landscape. They're all sort of similar, and yet they're sort of part of the series. All about the same size. All painted with the face sort of blue, and never helpful, it seems to me. Holly or somebody really on the color and paint people, but just sort of thought, well, that seems to be the only color that works. I was also interested in Broidel. I don't know if you know the painting by Peter Broidel of the Harvesters that's in the Metropolitan Museum. But I was interested in how he used arrows. And actually, I've done that here, except the arrows going the wrong direction, actually. But you see this sort of triangular shape going toward the left. And you find those coming back in my work, because I've really been very interested in how those are used in compositions. This is also done while I'm still in Knoxville. Has to do, of course, with trips to the mountains. It was made in the studio. It's not from a photograph. Just painted from sort of memory of what things that I've seen. It still is. We painted with short-handled brushes from the hardware store, these 1-inch brushes. Because you ain't trying to sell it brushes, long-handled arch brushes, but as I said, nobody had any money, and so we just painted with the cheapest thing that we could find. I went back to Illinois, finished my degree in 1960, 61, I guess. And Illinois, of course, everybody knows, very flat. And people used to make jokes about how flat it was. And Herbert Reed came to talk while I was at Illinois. And we had this sort of gathering of students. Herbert Reed, this famous English historian, art historian, critic, and about the brightest thing any of us could think of to say. Somebody said, "How you like Illinois? Flat, isn't it?" So I don't know. But I did this when I get these ideas when I'm walking home, that leaving the studio one afternoon, it was sunset. And I really saw this red stripe going across the horizon. And of course, being Illinois, cold as could be, and snow on the ground. And so that's why it's always white. It's similar, not big, to one that with the figure that I showed you, with this sort of arrow-like shape. Then, when I graduated, got the MFA from Illinois, I got a job at the Methodist college called Lambeth, but it's in Jackson, Tennessee. And actually, I stayed there. I never did move on. I left about 1982. And when I went, I was the chair of the art department. Actually, I was the only part of the art department. The only art teacher. So I continued to paint, just whatever. And this is essentially another one of these me walking around paintings. And I was trying to branch out, and so I figured out some way to make the face a different color, so it's blue, and different shape. And then I also started doing these chalk drawings, just going outside and painting whatever it was. Actually, this is where I live on Burton Street, and this is the back of the house. I'm still showing some with the gospel artists. I remember one time, I'm just not sure just when this was, but I sent them some drawings. I think they were chalk drawings, sort of like this. And they used to talk about my drawings look sort of 19th century. Remember when I said, oh no, they said, well, it looks sort of 19th century. Many impressions, I guess. In that show they were doing in Knoxville at that time, it turned out, I didn't know ahead of time, but it turned out they were all doing pop art. And I said, keep those things away from my 19th century. I don't have the drawing for this painting, but it was done from one of the chalk drawings. Again, it's sort of looking out behind the house where I live. There's a very small house, a big house in the backyard. And that's what's in this painting. We used to put white lead on the canvases with sort of brown paint on. And you could buy this Dutch boy white lead at the hardware store. And we painted with it. I think this was done without any thinner in the paint, and I just was putting it on with a painting knife. And so this thing's pretty thick, and it happens that the light is from the side here, and you can see sort of the strokes and text and idea of how thick that thing is. It was not very long after 63 when this was done that white lead paint was outlawed. They talked about how it was poisonous and whatnot. So they stopped using it. This, I had when I went to Lambeth, my studio and office were sort of up in the art, well, the whole art department was up in the attic of a building that was primarily the dining hall. And this was done there, and in the upper part of the background you see it's a window, and what's this plant in the foreground. I pointed out in particular because the next painting was looking out that window. And if you go back, you see a little bit of the house across the street and the trees. But this is a big painting, 67 inches high, that I sent to a show in Memphis called the Mid-South Show, and it won the prize that year. Was $1,000, and the biggest prize I ever won. So that enabled me to go to Europe that summer. My mother and I went to Europe that summer. It also enabled me to buy a camera because I never had a camera before either. And people, I think, were sort of, in Memphis, were sort of aghast that the judge had chosen this painting because they thought it was, I expect they thought it was very old-fashioned looking, kind of 19th century perhaps. And also they probably also, I think some of them thought that it was some sort of